Have you ever wanted to be the brave hero who can save the planet Earth from total extinction? Are you quick and strong enough to fight the alien invaders and stop them from carrying out the vicious plans? And do you like frenetic action where every split second plays a role? Welcome to watching VideoGaming Father's video review of retro fast-paced horizontal shoot 'em up with the strange name QYO Blaster. Is there any original and maybe even humorous story worth following? Will you find there just one main hero or more brave guys to select from? Is it just pure shoot 'em up, or are there any refreshing features enhancing the traditional gameplay? And will you be fighting against original enemies in various environments? Isn't the game too easy, or on the contrary too difficult for casual players? Isn't the game spoiled by inaccurate controls? And are the game graphics, music and sounds nice to watch and listen to? Is the game suitable for family playing, spiced up by the presence of local multiplayer? Just bear with me for the next few minutes to get all essential information about QYO Blaster. And let's start with the game story. A group of courageous extraterrestrial warriors follow a big meteor that brings a plague. This meteor has left many planets in chaos and destruction by bringing an invasion of alien insects. And now it's going directly to the planet called Earth. Luckily, there is a small scientist on the planet Earth that prepares soldiers and weapons to stop the menace. The future of Earth depends on the scientist called Mr. Cheeks with his machines and androids and a group of brave warriors from the other planet that need to unite their powers and stop the invasion together. This doesn't make much sense, does it? It seems like some 5th grader wanted to put all his favorite scenes from the movies together and used all cliches available to do so. The story is presented by the comic sketches in the intro and between the missions, but soon you will stop watching it and just skip the scenes in favor of the action. Okay, the story is definitely not one of the game's strong sides, so let's better get to the gameplay. QYO Blaster plays like a classic horizontal shoot 'em up game. Your fighter flies from left to right while shooting many bullets at the incoming enemies. At the start of the game you choose the game difficulty from easy and normal, choose your fighter from 3 different teams and either history mode or single missions. Let's focus on the story, or history as it's called here mode. In the first short tutorial level you learn how to shoot, collect gems to increase the special bar to charge the special attack, to launch a pulse and change the bullets into gems, and also to charge the assistant's bar to call the assistant, which is just another form of special attack. Here I must mention one significant minus if you play on the controller. In the tutorial the game simply ignores that you play on the controller, so you need to press the default keys on the keyboard to proceed further. You can do all steps on the controller but need to confirm them on the keyboard so the game can recognize that you have done it. Sounds like an amateurish mistake, but let's hope that this is the only one. Once you pass a really short tutorial and likely skip the uninteresting story part, your small hero finds himself in the scientist room where need to face the first wave of invasion. Various insects and small mechanical enemies. After their elimination within less than 2 minutes, comes the first boss that seems like some giant mechanical beetle shooting projectiles at you in easy to learn patterns, so defeating him shouldn't make you a big problem. Okay, so far so good, even though it was a bit surprising that you meet the first boss after such a short time, so levels are likely not too long. Which doesn't have to be wrong if they are filled with interesting content. Okay, let's continue then. As you proceed through the levels, the enemies become stronger and come at you in bigger numbers. The levels are still very short, but the game manages to serve the new ideas even in this hectic pace. Sometimes it changes the scrolling direction to vertical for a while, prepares a mini-boss for you, and provides you with various power-ups dropping of the killed enemies, like Curd Short or Ballstorm, dramatically increasing your fire rate for a while, Pulse Charge or Supportive Drone. There is no time to take a break, levels are short but filled up by the action from the start to the boss battles, which sounds good. Let's see what heroes you can select from and what enemies you will be fighting with. The heroes are split into 3 teams. First one, called Blood Presence, is focused on damage caused. There are heroes from the other planet. 2 alien-like creatures, 2 robots and some intergalactic boy. Second team, called Boom, is focused on a mix of endurance and damage. It's the team of one of the game's main heroes, Mr. Cheeks, who himself looks like a guinea pig. He's got a panda in his team, robotic cat, caterpillar, bug and tomato. Really funny roster, isn't it? The third team, called Microwave, is focused on endurance and consists of 4 anime-like characters and robotic shark. All heroes are defined by 3 attributes: damage, speed and fire rate. They are quite balanced, so those who've got bigger damage have lower speed and fire rate and vice versa. The heroes also differ by their special attacks. One fires the missiles in every direction, the second fortifies himself inside the metallic ring, protecting him from the damage for a while, and the third calls some scary helper from another dimension, causing one-time big damage to everyone on the screen. I must admit that the authors have used a really big imagination for character design, as you really don't see Tomato or Robotic Shark in the games too often. Let's forget about the fact that such a mix of strange heroes doesn't make much sense. The variability and fun is guaranteed. You can also upgrade your heroes between the missions. Just don't expect any complex upgrade system. You can increase your hero speed, bullet speed, duration of power-ups on the screen, or get additional life. All of those are just one-time upgrades, so there are no skill trees. Very simple but better than nothing. The variability is also guaranteed when it comes to the enemies. Various kinds of insects, in either organic or mechanical form, tanks, UFOs, shooting windmills and mini-bosses like a giant snail on the card or boat shooting at you from the hands with pointing fingers are indeed original enemies. And the bosses are also original. Giant bee queen, a bug sitting in the biplane or mechanical dragonfly, this is not a mistake, it really called like this, with different pattern or behavior represents sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller challenges. And the game environment is also variable enough. A house, garden, lake, forest and so on prevents the game from becoming repetitive soon. Let's take a look at the game difficulty and controls. Unluckily, the game difficulty can be described by the word unbalanced. This is especially evident in boss battles. While some bosses have easy to learn behavioral patterns, shoots with the low cadence and the spaces between their projectiles are wide enough so you can dodge them, the other bosses flood the screen with tons of shots like in some bullet hell game, and you simply have no chance to dodge them effectively. And so do some of the common enemies. The fact that quite often it's not clear if the enemy's projectile caused you some damage or not, along with the absence of healing power-ups, and just 3 lives for the main hero, make the game difficult even on easy difficulty. In the tradition of good short ups, you can still hit continue if you die, but the number of continues is also limited and it would hardly be enough for the whole game as one is really dying a lot here. The unbalanced difficulty spoils the game experience quite a lot. Some levels you can just finish with losing a life, while in some of them you will be dying permanently. The controls are fine most of the time, at least if you play the game on the controller. But the bugs, and I don't mean insects now, when the game doesn't react to the controller in the game menu, or when the tutorial doesn't recognize the actions done on the controller, are hard to overlook. How about the game audiovisuals? The graphics using the filters making the game look like on the old CRT monitors is indeed stylish, but also making some text in the game menus quite hard to read. Especially the names of heroes that you can choose from are almost unreadable. Luckily, it doesn't negatively affect the game while playing. It has the typical look of the games on consoles from the 16-bit era, with many colors, flickering graphical effects and animations in the background. The younger players might complain that the graphics are simply not detailed or smooth enough compared to nowadays standards, but retro lovers will definitely like it. And the same with the sounds and music. You will recognize typical retro sounds banks there for most types of shots. The dynamic music that changes in each mission will also please more than one retro lover. In general, I can say that the game audiovisuals are good except the graphics in some game menus. So, can QYO Blaster delivers the good old retro gameplay adapted to modern standard that has something to offer for both casual and hardcore players? The game pros are instant gameplay, fast-paced action that won't let you take a breath, the big choice of main characters, original enemies, variable environment, responsive controls, and nice audiovisuals that will please all retro lovers. However, the list of downsides is not short either. Silly story not worth following, unbalanced difficulty making some levels and boss battles frustrating, unclear reactions to hits by enemies' projectiles, the game ignores controller in some game menus and tutorial, some game menus are almost unreadable, many typos in the game, and the levels are too short and usually ends up before you start enjoying them. There is a local co-op in the game which would make it great if only levels are not so short and the difficulty not so unbalanced. The game costs around €8 on Steam, which is quite a lot for what it offers, so I would recommend here waiting for some big discount. It can be seen that there has been a lot of excitement and effort to bring good retro shoot-'em-up game with original ideas on the modern PCs. And thanks to the stylish audiovisuals, frantic action and original heroes and enemies, it could really work if only it wasn't spoiled by the amateurish faults like ignoring controllers in some part of the game or some unreadable game menus, but mainly by the unbalanced difficulty, strange reactions to hits, and the game shortness. I was really hesitating this time whether to recommend QYO Blaster or not, but at the end of the day the disappointment prevailed over the satisfaction, and thus I'm giving this game thumbs down and VideoGaming Father's index 5 out of 10. Still not recommended. Thank you for watching my QYO Blaster video review, and if you have liked it, please give it a thumb up and also subscribe to my VideoGaming Father's channel. It will help me a lot. Thank you one more time and see you next time!